Peace, TikTok, baby boos. Instagram, goddamn. Welcome in, y'all, to the Crystaline show. If you're a newbie, we welcome you here. If you're a true bee, welcome back. Thanks for sharing this space with us. I am your co-host, Mrs. Duüblé Jones, the lady with the stones I am. We got those come heres and those leave us alones available on CrystalineMars.com. You can also book any personal services on the website as well. And meet us here every night. Every night, y'all. Y'all know we go live. It's a vibe. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss a beat. And meet us on all social media platforms. We're on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And our handle is at Crystaline Mars. So we about to go ahead and get into it because we're already moving divinely today. It's non-ly. We are moving real divinely. It's non-ly, y'all. It's 9 o'clock. This piece is getting on my nerves, bruh. Hey, Kyla. Hey, Keisha. We got Kyla on the live. Kyla in the building today. So, y'all, the message of the day is you are being tested. Stay the course. You are being tested. Stay the course. All right. And this feels like it has everything to do with your inner struggles. And it may be challenged by external temptations, by external obstacles. But at the end of the day, heavy on the grace, but the energy is about to play in your face. And we've been talking about this fortitude energy, and some of us are falling victim. Some of us are falling for the traps. And when it comes to discipline, slacking, when it comes to staying on what you said you was going to do, slacking. And so it does feel like really, really, really challenging for the collective at this time when it comes to just pushing ahead. And it does feel like an energetic thing too, because last year, towards the end of last year, it just really got intense. Last year was a lot in itself, and it's just like as we rolled into this non-energy, it was just like, hold on, like, can I get a break? And we really didn't have a break. We really didn't have a break, and now it's like it's game time, it's test time. And so regardless of the challenges, just remember that there will be another day, there will be another opportunity where you could choose to show up a little better than you have been. Right. Kyla said, been preparing for the funeral. Keisha said, heavy on the grace. That part. And heavy on not beating yourself up. Okay. The sooner we can get a grip, the better, of course. But we got 12 months. Obviously, we don't want to like drag it. But we have time to let go of certain things. And so, you know, every day is a new day. Every moment is a new moment. So all we can do is just try to do better. Just try to do better. And like I said, you know, our truth is being revealed when it comes to what we're still struggling with, when it comes to what's not working for us anymore, what adjustments we need to make. And just take note and move accordingly. Some of y'all may even feel called to begin to get like I'm seeing somebody with a budget planner. So when it comes to your money spending, some of you may need to like track your spending. Some of you may feel led to plan out your day, get you some kind of like calendar, like a little small daily calendar to just make sure certain things are done. And that's going to help you a ton as well. But, yeah, it's heavy on cravings, things. And this is not just centered around food. This is just you wanting certain things and knowing this can even be sexually, you know, knowing that you shouldn't be exchanging energy with a certain person, but maybe you just like, you're hooked on phonics for whatever reason, right? But this is you struggling with saying no and standing on that. And So definitely just make sure you call forth your support and just do the best you can. Just do the best you can. That's all you can do. So that concludes the message of the day, y'all. That concludes the message of the day. And we about to get into tarot tea time, you and me time. And it's going to be a general collective read. And so I want y'all to take what resonates and leave what doesn't, okay? Yeah, Ray Bay. I think I said Kyla said that, but Ray Bay said, yeah, the inner me have been struggling, but I've been pushing through. Yeah, peace, Jessica, and all of y'all who have joined us. So let's get into the collective reading. Oh, man, hold on. I didn't cut the fan on. Ooh. So let's see. I'm going to pull from Unveiled to see what's leading the way today. The guy's talking about, you start the show. I say, you just make sure you relieve me on time, all right? All right? You make sure you relieve me at 9:30. All right, let me see. Let me see. Ooh-wee. I'm feeling the OG deck today. Keisha said, I'm staying on business. I say, kind of talking about laugh a lot. Help me do the same, Keisha. You so crazy. Peace, my Janae. What you talking about? Girl. Girl, what? Woo! What you got, Unveiled? Give us one. Just give me the light and pass the draw. Listen more, speak less. What the heart feels, the mouth will confess. Listen more, speak less. What the heart feels, the mouth will confess. I want to get one more. Oh, again? Just because you're doing the work doesn't mean others are. Don't be distracted by people who are not on the same path as you. Follow your North Node star. That card came out yesterday. That's been a message in itself. So with this listen more, speak less, there definitely may be some truths that are revealed. Somebody may be, this could be like somebody being under the influence. This could be somebody in their feelings in the heat of a moment and they tell how they really feel. It's like, oh, tell me more. Tell me how you really feel. Is that kind of energy here. Is that kind of energy here. And for some of you, it may not even be anything like that where it's like an argument or something so big, but it may be someone speaking subliminally here. Or they may be talking about a situation which tells you everything that you need to know. You may be able to read between the lines and things. So listen more, speak less. Listen more, speak less. Let them tell on themselves because the heart will always confess truth. So the mouth will always confess what the heart really feels. So let's see. Be swift to listen and slow to speak. Yes, pretty much. Maya Janae said, you're on point. I've been strengthening my ability to say no. Ashe. No is a complete sentence. And you don't have to explain your no either. We have marriage in reverse. And we have house upright. Marriage in reverse and house upright. So there is definitely something that is brewing. This is internal and external. Let's talk about it. Be careful. Yes, this is the message that I got before I went live. It was a message of be careful of what you say yes to, because if you're not careful, that thing gonna come in, get comfortable, and stay. Okay. Something definitely is gonna what is it? Overstay their welcome or something like that. So just be careful of what you say yes to, because that one yes is saying yes to, it's like it's going to open a can of worms. Open a can of worms And with this marriage in reverse and the house upright, this is also speaking of some kind of imbalance or some kind of disagreement or uneasy energy that's within a union here. Somebody may not be speaking to somebody. I'm hearing a stranger in my house right now. That could be somebody's situation where you may feel like there's a stranger in your home, where this could be a partner or something like that, where they're there but they're not there. But give me one more. Just because you're doing the work doesn't mean others are. Okay, and the marriage in reverse is that's the reason why something is not working out, because somebody is not equally yoked. We've been talking about this unequally yoked energy. And we got the listen more, speak less. And that was clarified by the heart. I meant by the house card. Okay. So there may be some serious conversations that need to be had when it comes to just getting on the same page. When it comes to getting on the same page. And this could be about the slightest things. This could be about household bills. This could be about, okay, who covering the groceries. This could be about, okay, what are we working towards, right? Just checking in to see where you are, or, you know, what needs to be changed, or, you know, just check in. Somebody may definitely need to check in for clarity. Okay, so if it's something that you have just been trying to like sit with and figure out, instead of asking that person, like go straight to the source and ask the questions that you have here. Like, why are you not talking? Why are you not talking? You may even be trying to carry the load here. And with this marriage in reverse, it's like you are, and this can be when it comes to a partnership, this can be when it comes to a group project, something with another person though, whatever it is, a friendship, and you just trying to carry it all together. You trying to carry it all on your own with this marriage in reverse. And it's like, no, work together. Work together here. You do not have to carry it alone. But maybe you are just considering what the person has going on, or you just have a really giving heart or something where you just want to do it. Which is cute, which is sweet, which is kind. But do not overwhelm yourself either. You have help here. And if this person is not willing to help, if this person is adding more stress, then you definitely may need to have some conversations. So what you about to do? Kind of energy. What we have here? We have bully. They're really insecure. So, but it's in reverse. So there may be some conversation that's had very soon, and there may be some hard truths that is said to you, and naturally you may want to deflect and call it a projection, but there actually may be some truth in this that's said. And whatever this is that's said, you may want to say like, oh no, these are your insecurities and things like that. But with this card being in reverse, Spirit's calling for you to take a step back and, like the card said, listen more and speak less, ask more questions to see what their perspective is, because something may not be what you think it is. Something may not be what you think it is. So ask questions for clarity to really understand what it is. We have take accountability. Whoever takes accountability in the situation first grows faster. So again, like I said, there is some truth here. And this could have been a past conversation that was already had. Thank you, Gia. This could have been a past conversation that was had, and you might just be replaying something or trying to sit with something here. We have shower you with love and gift. Shower you with love and gift. And this is also you giving yourself permission to communicate what your needs are. What your needs are in a relationship. Like if you need more affection, or if your love language is not being met or something like that, like communicate here. shower you with loving gifts, because somebody may be giving you what they may be giving you, like they may be showing love in a way that is comfortable for them, like their love language, but that may be not the way you receive love. That may not be the way that you receive love, and you may have just been accepting it, just being grateful for something, trying not to complain, but at the end of the day, you still are like, there is some kind of gap there that you would like for your partner to fill. But also, yeah, because with the shower you with loving gift, I'm seeing the baby shower. I'm seeing the baby shower, but then that spirit's showing me the kind of shower. I forgot what it's called, what the actual name is called, but it's the shower where the mothers come around and they shower the mother of the child, the mother that's carrying. They shower her with love and massages and like foot baths, and they really take care of them. So you may really just need to be loved on, and it is okay to just talk about what you're feeling, and just be intentional and speak with tact when it comes to your delivery, and make sure you're not delivering it in a way where it's like it's pointing on what, oh, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. Just speak more from a, this is how I am experiencing you, this is how I'm experiencing this, or this is what I desire, this is what I need, at least right now, from you. And then you may not even get the response that you want right then in that moment, but somebody's definitely going to be sitting with something. They're going to sit with what you said. We have things will take off faster than you expect, so don't try to control. And even if this is not in the physical, this can be some things in the spirit. Some of you are not comfortable for whatever reason, or you don't have, you're not able to talk to this person for whatever reason. And so this may be something that you want to pray for, pray on, write down, and actually manifest in spirit. But we have things will take off faster than expected. Don't try to control. Shower you with loving gift here. We have none of your business. Things will take off faster than you expected. None of your business. So a lot of you are definitely, I feel like I talked about this recently, but I started to name the title of this show Isolation, because I felt this energy of the collective going into hermit mode. And hermit mode is going to look different for all of us. For hermit mode, some of you may be, for some of you, it may be, I'm really just about to hone in with me and my kid, me and my children, or me and my spouse, me and my partner and my kids, or I'm about to just hone in with me and my craft, me and my business, or I'm about to hone in with me and my dog, me and my cat, whatever. It's like this isolation period where that I feel the collective is being called into, when it just comes to making sure our house is taken care of. Making sure our house is taken care of is giving like sweep in front of your own front door kind of energy. And some of y'all are realizing like you got cobwebs on the outside of your door. You got all the leaves. It's just a hot mess, and you may be like, I need to tend to my home. I need to tend to my lover. I need to tend to my children at this time. And with this none of your business, this is more so you not being in a space to really share like you used to. And like I said earlier, like no is a complete sentence. So no need to explain, over explain why you have been out of reach, or you saying no because I gotta do this and that and that and that, and that. No is a complete sentence. Let me see. So we have Cardinal here. So so what's that? This could have something to do with the Aries, a Cancer, Libra, but with the Cardinal, we have the red light. Cardinal, we have the red light. came out together before last week, because I remember saying the same thing where I was like, some of you may feel called to take initiative or to jump and do something impulsively, and there may be some blockages here, or somebody don't answer the call, or there are some, yes, we have fast right here. I said that. I felt that, like some impulsive decision making, and spirit may be calling for you to halt here. What's this though? Tell me more. You said it resonates a lot. Good, because I really feel like I'm channeling, because I feel like I'm kind of all over the place. High Priestess said, you really look like the divine feminine of the tarot card I create. No lie, no promotion. I say, what's this cardinal and red light? We have Christ consciousness in reverse. So some of you may have thought, some of you had some idea, something that resonated, something that like you really wanted to do, and you were like, aha, I'm gonna do it, or aha, I'm gonna reach out, or aha, I'm about to do this, right? And you were going down a path that was not of its highest, of your highest, with this Christ consciousness in reverse. And Spirit was like, excuse me, no, the hell you're not. No, the hell you're not. What I'm seeing right now is a kid ask their parents, like, can I go out with Jade and Brittany? And the mom knows, or the dad knows, or both of them know that Jade and Brittany are no good. Or they don't know who Jade and Brittany are, and so they're asking questions like, I know my stepdad used to do that, and it used to be so annoying. He used to be like, he wanted to know what grades they made in school. Do they live with their parents? Like, he had a whole interviewing process that he took me through when it came to hanging out with certain people. And that's the thing here. Spirit's like, I think not. I think not. You are not going out with Jade. Who? Fast ass Jade? Jade who just had the baby in middle school? No, ma'am, Pam. Okay? And so there is definitely something, and it don't have to be necessarily towards a person, but something that you thought it was, thought you was going to do. But then also there is something that you're going to do, or this already happened. Like, you knew, like, you ain't had no business doing it, because, like, just, you know what this is for you. And you still want to test the waters. You're like, well, I just want to see if it's warm. You know, I just want to, let me taste it real quick. Hold on. Right? And Spirit's like, go ahead. Because somebody's coming to their last, somebody close to the edge. Something about to fall off anyway. We have say yes to this incoming offer, and it's okay to ask for help in reverse. Say yes to this incoming offer. It's okay to ask for help in reverse. So with this say yes to this incoming offer, it's okay to ask for help in reverse. Spirit is calling for you to check in with yourself, check in with your ancestors, check in with your higher self whenever this offer does come up, and see if it resonates with you. You know what's best for you. Again, like I just said, you know, right? Not even knowing that this card was coming out. So because you may, somebody definitely likes to call their mom or call somebody for every single thing. Like, hold on, let me call them before I make my decision. Hold on, let me call them before I make my decision. And it's nothing wrong with doing that sometimes, but then at a certain point, it's like, when are you going to make decisions for yourself? When are you going to trust yourself to make the best decisions for yourself? And sometimes you may mess up, you know, but that's a trial and error that you have to grow through here. So with this, Spirit's calling for you, if it resonates with you to say yes to this thing, say yes to it. Like when the opportunity arose for me to take advantage of purchasing my dream car that I've been manifesting for years, I ain't called nobody. I ain't called nobody. I saw it and I knew that this was my moment. Waiting on my moment. And I was like, this is it. You know, I'll tell y'all later when it's done. Because so it is, I say. So it may be that kind of energy here, okay? You know what it is, man. Big claim. The initials AB may be significant. We have abundance here. Peace, y'all. Hey, hey. Baby, baby. Yeah. What else we got here? I'm hearing Bittersweet by Fantasia. When we were together, you didn't treat me right. Damn, I really loved ya. I ain't gonna lie. Yes, I'll always love you. Woo. This is Bittersweet. What is this? Let me see. What's up with this Bittersweet? Some of y'all have been craving like salts and sweets. Like maybe you'll have a salt rush and then you'll have a sugar rush. And it's just like your cravings may have really been all over the place. What we got here? What's up with this Bittersweet? We have divine intervention in reverse. We have act stupid. They don't need to know you're informed in reverse. Congrats, you've been approved upright. And we have you are the GOAT here. So divine intervention in reverse. So this is something being allowed to come through here. Act stupid. They don't need to know you're informed. They act stupid. They don't need to know you're informed. So with this too, that comes through for you because something's about to, somebody's about to be cleared or approved for something, and you may actually be sharing this. You may want to not like inform people, and it doesn't feel like you're necessarily making a public service announcement, but it's more so like if they ask, tell them. If they ask, tell them. And for some of you, you're going to be called, like Spirit's going to call for you to share the news, maybe publicly or to specific people for a specific reason. Yeah, it's giving like I'm preparing a table in front of your enemies here. So some of y'all are very humble when it comes to, yeah, we have commentary here. Some of y'all are very humble when it comes to your victories, when it comes to, you know, just the things that you be manifesting and stuff like that. And Spirit's like, nah, we about to go ahead and put this out there. We about to go ahead and release this. So this could be something that you've been working on too. This could be something that you've been working on too, that you're about to release and put out there. Yep. Yeah, and I just saw somebody roll their eyes. Yeah, thank you, Jules. Jules said we need some voice notes on YouTube. I'm shy. Yeah, somebody might be rolling their eyes. You better be careful they get stuck. Somebody get them. I don't know, somebody do lashes. I'm seeing somebody with big lashes, or somebody love their lashes. A lash tech, something like that. We have speechless, lost for words. I'm speechless. Oh, I'm speechless. That used to be my song. Speechless by Sierra and The Dream. Speechless, lost for words. Congrats, you've been approved. Like I said, the commentary. And Spirit's like, yeah, go ahead and say it. Go ahead and tell them here. Some of y'all are going to be approved, and there's going to be some kind of move here too. And the people going to be like, and disbelief came out. We have speechless, lost for words, disbelief. But some people may be happy too. Some people may be happy too, like, yes, they leaving. Yep. And you don't even know you. Yes, I'm moving and I'm going to heaven, bitch. I'm moving and I got a whole new pay raise. You can stay at this little mucky ass, sucky ass job. You can stay here. Y'all can stay here. I'm gone. Like, I'm leveling up here. So some of y'all like, I'm more excited to leave than you are excited for me to leave. Because it gets better for me. Now you still here. So you still here. It sucks to suck. We have announcements. What you got going on? We got announcements. Speechless, disbelief. Congrats, you've been approved. So we got some stuff coming through. Some of y'all are waiting to hear back from somebody, a job or something like that. We have no. Exclamation point. And we got growth. I laugh because I saw somebody like get tickets somewhere or they get plugged in. It gives like pretty privilege, but this is not around looks. This is just speaking of like the work you've been doing or whatever, and you get accepted or you get plugged in, and you over here like, can my friends come? And they like, hell no, nope, no, skirt. And we have growth here. You're the GOAT again. God damn. Growth again. You're the GOAT. No. Growth. You the GOAT? Somebody may be a Capricorn. Happy birthday to all the Capricorns. We got any Capricorns in the building? What we got here? We have yes. So it's like, no, they can't come. No, this is just for you, baby boo. And with this yes, we have focus on desired outcome in reverse. So yes, focus on desired outcome. Some of y'all been a little unfocused. Some of y'all been a little bit unfocused. Maybe you've just been so busy with day-to-day stuff that when it comes to your desires, when it comes to certain things, you may not be giving it your energy like you once was or like you need to, or maybe you don't necessarily need to give it as much energy, but I do see something not getting as much energy as it used to. We got leave me the F alone. So with this no, and then we have yes here. I'm seeing somebody say no, but they really mean yes. I'm seeing somebody say no, but they really mean yes. Or you may just be sending some kind of mixed signals here. Like, be clear. Be clear. If you want it, then say it. If you don't, then say it. And stand by that here. Somebody need to make their mind up here. But we got to leave me the F alone. Focus on desired outcome in reverse. So this could be some kind of like ex-partner coming back. Somebody from the past trying to come back. Sickening as hell. Somebody is sickening and they may miss you and now they want to come back. And it's like, excuse me, ain't nobody worried about you. Bye. I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to tell you. And now I'm hearing back then they didn't want me. Now they all on me. Mike Jones 281-330-8004. Bitch, try to call me if you want to. That ain't my number. No. So just leave me the F alone. Some of y'all are like really, you have a low tolerance for BS, right? You have low tolerance when it comes to just repeating certain things with certain people. It's just like, no, leave me alone. Somebody may be ghosting somebody real soon too with this no, leave me the fuck alone. Like somebody may really be getting on your nerves here. Let me see. Somebody is annoying. And it could have been something that you said yes to when you was in a certain place. You know, maybe you wanted a few on a roster or something like that. And then you was like, oh, hell, what did I sign up for? Yup, that's what you get. That's what you get, whoever that is. Oh, that was one of my toxic traits when I was in like my teenage, like my late teens. I would definitely let a guy take me out to eat. That's it. That's it. And then when they want to text me, I'm like, leave me alone. I just wanted to go to eat. You know I don't like you. You know I don't like you. And you asked me to go to food, go to eat. You know I'm going to say yes. And no, I'm not going to your house after. The whole time I should have just said no to the damn food. But I used to turn down no meal, bitch. I sure will. Where we going? So some of y'all are doing that where it's like you sending mixed signals. Be clear. Don't do them like that. Don't do taint like that. Okay, what else we got here? We got 555 here. And we have throwing rocks, hiding hands. 5, 5, 5, 5. Throwing rocks and hiding hands. Give me one for this 5, 5, 5. I'm talking about 5, 5, 5, 5. It's only 5, 5, 5. And somebody's kid may be onto something too. I don't know if somebody's kid is like prophesying things. But we got 5, 5, 5. And we have manifestations coming into fruition. 5, 5, 5. Manifestations coming to fruition. What's this throwing rocks and hiding hands? So these changes that are taking place are getting you close to your manifestations here. It's clearing the shit out so it can come in. Hell. Somebody got brown couch, brown furniture. Blue curtains, purple curtains. Childu said, I mean, a meal is a meal. Facts. Until they text me later. How was your leftovers? Good. Leave me alone. Throwing rocks and hiding hands. And we have Daddy's girl here. So throwing rocks and hiding hands. This feels like very immature energy with this Daddy's girl. This could have something to do with the masculine. This could have something to do with the masculine here. Third party situation. Somebody may be throwing shade or just nitpicking. Might be jealous because they got a cheating ass spouse or cheating ass boyfriend or wife or girlfriend or something like that. And so they like slick throwing shade. Somebody may have a daughter. This masculine may have a daughter. Throwing stones from a glass house, though. We do have the house at the bottom down there. Why y'all laughing? Shaiba, I'm glad you're here because y'all know I like to get y'all names correct. So, Shaiba, am I pronouncing it right? Because Logas be calling you Sheba. Is it Shaiba? Y'all know we went through that with Other Lovely, and I be wanting to know. Is it Shaiba? What's up with this? What's T? We got dark demonic energy, throwing rocks and hiding hands. So this could have something to do because when I told y'all I was watching that movie Twitches earlier, so they could have something to do with twins. It was about twin witches, so it has something to do with twins or something like that. But pretty much in the movie Twitches, it was like two powerful sisters. Long story short, and the darkness was just trying to consume them. And so with this dark demonic energy, there may definitely be something that's trying to create obstacles or challenge in your life with this 5, 5, 5. Oh, you said Brother Logas is right. Oh, okay. It's Sheba with a Y. Okay, well now I know because I want to hear some Shaba. And it always sound weird, but I just thought that's what it was. I slick didn't like saying it because I don't like the way it sounds. Shaiba. I'm like, what is Shaiba? But now I know it's Sheba. Okay. All right, anyway. Manifestations coming into fruition, Daddy's girl. So with this manifestations coming into fruition, Daddy's girl too, some of y'all may have a dad on the other side and your dad is coming through here. We still have the house. We still have the house card under this manifestations coming into fruition. So this could have something to do with like a house or some kind of living situation here. Tell me more about this Daddy's girl. Manifestations coming into fruition. The name Fred may be significant. Frank. Manny. Something about a train station. We have the sacral chakra in reverse. So this is something that has been hard for you to do. Like it's something that you have been trying to do alone. And it just has not been coming to light. It just has not been working the way you've been trying to do it here. And so you may have called in like support. You may have been praying on it, praying for it. And your support is coming through when it comes to your access being granted and something being unlocked. You just gave your father an offer yesterday. Ashe. We have resilience here. 5, 5, 5 and resilience. So some of y'all with this hiding rocks, throwing rocks and hiding hands, some of y'all really have been stoned. Some of y'all really have been stoned. And just like I was talking about yesterday when I was saying how I had my very mucky seasons these past few years, and I now see that that was in preparation for now, so I could show y'all how to navigate that space and stuff like that. But that may resonate with y'all when it comes to a lot of y'all been learning what resilience look like, right? Y'all have been undergoing very intense dark seasons and challenges over the past few years to prepare you for now. Because had you not done the work or started doing the work, these stones, you would be out there throwing stones with them, right? People who have broken hearts or who are wounded or whatever, their projections, they may have been able to, if you had not done your work, if you had not made certain changes, if you had not leveled up in certain ways, you would not be able to handle what is happening right now or what will be unfolding this upcoming year here. And so with this throwing rocks and hiding hands, some of y'all, like I said, y'all been very resilient when it comes to the obstacles just throwing your way. Some of y'all were under spiritual attack here, literally having spells and hexes and curses put on you and things like that. God said, rejection, whatever it may be, right? We have miscarriages here. So some of y'all really may have been struggling with this dark demonic energy here, but I see you coming out stronger than ever. What fell? So we have protection prayer. So this is spirit coming through, reminding you that you are covered. You may want to like write a protection prayer or say a protection prayer to just cover you during these times. But we have a massage here as well. Somebody may be looking into getting a massage more often, or something about a chiropractor. A chiropractor came through earlier. I channeled that randomly. Not sure if somebody is a massage therapist or want to go, like, you know, maybe you've heard that you give really good massages, right? Or yeah, something about your energy is just healing, and so you may be looking into taking certain courses, rather that's Reiki or whatever it is, so you can use your power to heal. You said, oh my God, my dad passed and he's Fred. Hey, Mr. Fred. Mr. Fred is here in the building. Daddy's girl. All right, we have breath work came out again. This card came out. Remember when all the cards was like flipped and I just like put one back here and I just got the massage one off the floor and I just kept shuffling? It was the breath work. So some of you may need to do take more mindful breaths too. Like we were talking about the other day when Logas was talking about breath work, and one of our lovelies in the chat, she was saying, now I'm over here conscious of my breaths, right? So you may find yourself being more conscious of taking intentional deep breaths here. We have foster home and shelter. So I'm picking up on an anxiety attack, a panic attack. It feels like somebody may have a panic attack or suffer from really bad PTSD or anxiety here. Because there may be something that happens there. This really does feel triggering for somebody. Something, I don't know if this has happened already and this is like a space that you've already navigated, or for some of you this may be coming up, but something happening and you really feeling anxious, like something, yeah, it feels really heavy. I don't know what that is, but it could have to do with something tragic or traumatic that you experienced in your past, or it could be connected to past life, because some of y'all don't even understand why you have certain triggers or why you know, have certain phobias or fears and things like that, and it may be connected to some past life stuff. So some of you may even benefit from doing some past life regressions, traveling. I do offer that service on CrystalineMars.com, and we travel through a few lifetimes, and it's a really dope experience, and you're able to see and remember that life, and it will bring clarity when it comes to just certain things that may be playing out in this life, or certain relationships and things like that. So some of you may benefit from that. Like there may be just some more clarity that needs to be had here. So we have soulmate in reverse. We have the twins in reverse. Remember I channeled that twin energy. So we have the soulmate and we have the twins in reverse here. Soulmate in reverse, twins in reverse. So soulmate, twin flame in reverse. Tell me more though. So this could have something to do around a relationship too, because when I was picking up on that anxiety, what came up, one of the things that came up was abandonment. So somebody relationship situation may be shifting. This is more for like some karmic energy that some of you may have been on and off, yes or no, with this energy, especially last year, and you dragged it on to this year, and it's gonna be like a wrap up. You ready? Oh, okay. Yeah, so yeah, we have clean slate here and we have abundance here. So that concludes our collective read. And I hope y'all got what y'all needed. Y'all could book any personal services on crystallinemars.com. But we're about to go ahead and shift over to the spiritual lesson, y'all. If this message resonated, y'all drop some hearts down below. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace, lovelies. Ashe. Ashe, Sheba. Dope. All right, bye-bye. It's on you.
Peace, family.
Grace.
Today's first lesson is AI versus HI. AI versus HI. AI. Right. So AI, artificial intelligence, versus human intelligence. Right now, we are in a time where AI intelligence is being created more rapidly. It's being relied on more, and all of these things. Now, AI is simply hyper focused intelligence. It's hyper focused intelligence. While HI is it's more like potential. HI is more like potential intelligence, right? So AI is hyper-focused intelligence, which makes it seem like AI is more intelligent than us as human beings, as if it has a greater capacity for intellect, or gathering information, or holding information, or understanding information, or like it thinks faster than we do. It cannot, because our brains think beyond time. So we have access to information instantly, as well as we have, AI and all computer programs have to go through simulations to try to gather the information that we, each of us as humans, already have. And we have a ridiculous amount of information embedded in our DNA, right? It's just that we don't have access to a lot of it, and that is the only difference. When you look at AI, no matter what type of suits that they create, no matter what type of robots that they build, those technically, now they could, take over the planet. I mean, that is possible, right? But technically, we are dealing with, by an infinite amount of years, we are living in ridiculously more advanced technology than any AI robot could possibly hold or have, right? There's a good example in the X-Men movies where um, they were fighting these certain robots, right? These robots were able to adapt to their powers, and that's how they were able to defeat the X-Men. Um, they ended up losing because there were certain powers that they just could not adapt to, and that was time travel. Because once again, this is a way more advanced suit than any AI robot. But even so, the AI robots, the only reason why they were even as successful as they were at defeating the X-Men, it was because they started building these AI robots with organic material. With organic, right now we're dealing with a lot of inorganic. There is some organic material that's used inside the microchips, which allows it to be intelligent the way that all of our computer systems are, right? But when their bodies are going to have to be made up of organic material, why? Because only organic minerals can hold, infinite amounts of information and capabilities and potentialities, right? But just like um, you can get a phone, one person can get a phone, but because they don't have, maybe they found the phone or what have you, they can't just start making calls with it. They can't just go open up a plan with it because it was somebody else's phone. So there are restrictions placed on the phone. But then there's phones where they are jailbroken. The limitations have been broken off, so now they're able to use that phone. That's how you can look at the body, where the body has way more potential than any AI robot could ever have, just because of the material that our vessels are made of. But we have to jailbreak, right? Break out of jail, right? In order, maybe, I mean, even if you look at this, think about it. AI, because it's actually, when you get to AI, they're talking about transhumanism. They're trying to find ways to transfer our consciousness into these robotic beings, or to attach the robot, the inorganic material, to our bodies to do what? In some cases, you could use it to possibly do things like talk to each other's minds, or connect to the internet, right? But these are things your body can already do. But instead of trying to figure out how to turn on what's already inside of you, we're going outside of ourselves and trying to create this, use these metal materials, right? Now, that also leaves you up to being controlled remotely by those who have the remote control, right? Hooking up to the system. But like I said, jailbroken. What we're trying to do is, what you want to do is jailbreak this vessel. Because the funny thing is, when it comes to any like AI program itself, it can't really break its own rules, right? But humans, though we have certain limitations and stipulations that are put on our code, with enough effort, we can actually, jailbreak ourselves. Because otherwise, by allowing AI is supposed to assist us, but assist us in helping to actually evolve our own being. That's what we're supposed to use AI for, to help evolve our own being, not to rely on AI to take over the function for everything, because that puts us in jail. You can't spell jail without AI, right? And what we want to do is jail. We want to jailbreak, right? And we have to get what? High. HI, human intelligence. We have to get high, right? Meaning we have to, raise our frequency, raise our vibration. But what does that mean? Raising the frequency, raising the vibration. That means, one, yes, diet, does play a part, stimulating certain aspects, right? But it also means that you have to mentally and prayerly and ritualistically unlock the genetic codes, the gene codes, right? to climb higher in the dimensional fields, right? To go from the third dimension to the fifth dimension to the fifth dimensional body to the seventh dimensional um, consciousness, right? We have to get higher. We have to get higher. And one of the things that you're supposed to do when you go on like ayahuasca trips and things like that is not go out there and find God. And that's not the point of the ayahuasca trip. The point of the ayahuasca trip is to go into a different vibrational parallel, you can say parallel realities, so that you can get information, or to go inward, either to get information on how to jailbreak yourself, or to go inward to actually jailbreak yourself, right? For whatever reason, people don't know that. That is the point of these herbs. It's not to find God. It's not to be enlightened about being the one, having oneness and all this kind of stuff. Those are cool things to understand. Maybe that's the first, the job of the first trip. Sure. That's the first trip's job, is to, we're all one. Okay, great. Now, the second trip now is to, how do I become the one? That's the second trip. And after that, it's, because the plants, the ayahuascas, the DMT trips, all, the peyotes, all those things, the shrooms, those are technologies. Just like this body is a technology. Those are technologies. And we're supposed to keep enhancing our technologies that we call food and stuff, enhancing our technologies so that we can jailbreak and unlock, or help assist jailbreak and unlock. We're not supposed to rely purely on them, but we're supposed to use the, we're supposed to use our own minds in congruence with this jailbreaking technology. That's what those things are. Ashe. So that's today's spiritual lesson. So we'll go into the Q&A and today's spiritual clearings. Ashe.
Ashe. I'm adding gift cards to the website, y'all. So if you ever want to just get a gift card for a lovely in your life, they'll now be available on the website.
Peace, family. Peace over to TikTok. Appreciate all the likes and the gifts. Appreciate all the likes, shares, and subscribes from YouTube, as well as the super chats. And peace to the OGs on IG. Right. It is face-to-face Fridays. If anybody wants to come up, you might want to jump in quickly. Goal is not to be on here too long. Let's see, Ashe to Muddy. So I'll be purchasing real soon. It's been aligning for me, Ashe. The wavy one. How can we communicate with ourselves in other dimensions? Well, a lot of that has to do with trust, because you can do it through meditation. You can do it through getting in contact with like ancient or very old artifacts. You can do it through meditating and going into like searching in the meditation world and the realms, um, or through the dream world. It's not. Because it's not. I mean, and you can do it. I guess technically you can do it by using some of the plant medicines too. But it's really not that. There's not a whole lot of things that you need to do to get in. Communicate with yourselves in other dimensions. It's that, are you willing to actually just do it? Are you willing to just do it? Um, do you trust yourself enough that when you meet yourself in these other dimensions, right? It might just. Are you walking around with your mind already open? Right? Because you'll run into these beings in other dimensions all the time that are really just you, but you don't look at it as you. You don't try to see it as you. It does require a certain level of intuition. It does require that, where you'll meet a certain being, see a certain being, and then you're like, oh, that's me, or that's this version of me, or that's this. So I don't really know how to describe, how to do that. It's just something that I've been able to do and trusted myself to do it, right? Because there'll be certain beings or certain things that I run into, or visualize or dream about or whatever, and then sometimes I know exactly who it is or what it is, or you know right away, and some things I'm not really sure. It might take me a little while, and then it comes to me later, or I might see something that might give me the answer, or it's But I will say though that uh, we run into them, the other versions of yourself, more often than you think. Uh, but essentially, it's about opening up your imagination more. That's all plant medicine does. It just opens up your own imagination. That's all. So the answer is really just within your imagination. Start exploring your own imagination. You need to explore that, because the imagination is not here. It's not here, right? You're using this, but the imagination is not here. It's somewhere else. It's in another. It's in other dimensions. It's in other dimensions, right? You can also get a guided meditation though, if you really just want to make it super simple. Get guided meditation. Go to CrystalineMyers.com. Get a guided meditation with Duüblé, and she will assist you in the communicating with your other selves in other dimensions. So that's another way to do it. Pay attention to the anime. The animes, shows and movies, they try to tell you the same thing. They try to tell you the same thing, right? Um, sure. Majane says, dreaming. Just be in alignment, high vibrations, happy, joyful, focus. You will hear you. Well, saying just be in alignment doesn't really help anyone be in alignment. You got to know, well, what does that mean? High vibrations. Um, you can achieve very high vibrations um, with negative emotions, with anger, with despair, right? There's multiple ways to reach high vibrational states. Emotions in and of themselves all have the ability to create really high vibrational um, states, right? So happiness and joy does not happiness and joy can can be the very things that get you into these high vibrational states, right? Um, Sheer focus can get you into these high vibrational states. Anger can get you into these high vibrational states, right? Stress can get you into high vibrational states. You know, happiness and joy can get you to hear one side of self, but that's not the only side of yourself. You are not pure joy and happiness. The soul isn't pure joy and happiness. That's a religious mindset. That's like thinking that God is only good. God is both good and evil, both up and down, both feminine and masculine, right? So to think that, you will only hear self by only, you will hear self when you're angry too. You will hear self when you're sad and depressed. You will hear self. Um, I've learned, I've gotten, and I've heard a lot of wise things from myself in states when I was depressed, right? How is that? It's because depression happens when you feel stuck, when you feel like you can't move forward or you're not moving forward. And in that depression, if you actually listen, yourself will, that's actually one of the most um, important times that yourself is actually trying to speak to you, is when you're depressed. Most people don't know that. In your depression, that's when self is doing is yelling out the loudest to you, because it's trying to get you to move, to change something, to go in a different direction, right? That's not always the reason why you're depressed, but that is sometimes that's some of the reasons. So, you know, I've come into very, very I've had a lot of evolutionary moments when I was depressed or when I felt like the world was just crushing me. Then something clicked. I've done that a lot, actually. Um, you know, so it's not a one-dimensional thing, just joy, right? Because joy and happiness can also cause delusion. See, there is a positive and a negative to all things, right? Depression can cause delusion, anger can cause delusion, happiness can cause delusion, joy can cause, delusion, right? Um, but a religious mindset picks and choose which side's good and which side's always good and which side's always bad. It's like, am I Democrat or Republican? Am I left or right? Am I Crip or Blood? Am I, you know? Um, Majine says, happiness, joy, and peace helps me hear the higher me. Um, I wouldn't disagree with that. I would also say that happiness, joy, and peace can also help you hear the lower you too. Not peace, but the happiness. Well, peace, probably not so much. Uh, but yeah, maybe even peace as well. But it can help you hear all different sides of you, right? We assume because if I'm in a happy state, that means that the voice I'm hearing is the higher me. That's an assumption. That's an assumption, right? That's a belief that's been told over and over and over again. There's a lot of um, there's a lot of people that were conquered who were peaceful. There's a lot of people that were conquered who were peaceful, right? Um, or destroyed or taken advantage of because they were peaceful, right? Because that side of you, uh, and you thought, I'm hearing me. Well, there's another version of you, because there's more than one version of you. There's other higher version of you that'll tell you how to avoid being conquered, how to avoid being taken advantage of. But if you're there's times where we will use the joy and happiness to actually drown out the other sides of us that are doubtful or that are hesitant or that are warning us and saying like, no, that's the lower me. I'm not going to listen to that side that's trying to warn me of the danger, that's trying to prepare me for um, possible issues, right? I hear it all the time. Like, no, this if you just don't allow those thoughts to come in, if you think good thoughts, if you think only the good can happen, if you like, and that's how people get defeated and conquered, right? So that's just something to think about, right? Marginet says, when I feel angry, depressed, anxious, I hear fear loudly. Okay. It's only when I shift my focus to gratitude, breathe deeply, and find peace that I can get answers and guidance from my higher self. Right. That means you've only mastered one side of yourself. That's what I'm telling you, my Janae. You can only get answers from the happiness side. That means you're only capable of working with one side of yourself. And as long as you're only able to get answers from the positive side of yourself, remember, remember this: electricity is a negative charge. Electrons are a negative charge. So when people avoid negativity, it's the negativity that makes everything move. It's a negativity that charge that gives you life. You need that, right? So if you go back just a few generations, it wasn't about peace and love and all. That's a new thing that came about in the 70s, right? That's not a thing that's always existed. So we've built a lot of powerful institutions, not based off of happiness and peace and love and all those things, but based off of a whole wide range of emotions, a whole wide range of emotions, right? Um, Including anger, including depression, including anxiety, right? Including fear. Fear will save your life. Fear can make you weaker, but fear can also make you stronger. Fear will make you faster. It's called fight or flight, right? Fear can make you can evolve you, right? Um, Happiness can put you in a space of complacency. It can make you content. It can keep you from. It can actually stifle you, right? You know, but they both can do the opposites. So it's important to master and work with the negative along with the positive, and try to find ways to evolve yourself. If you can't seem to hear yourself when in those negative states, then that's something you actually need to practice. Trying to hear yourself in the negative spaces just as much as you hear yourself in the positive spaces, because they have both sides to the story that is you. If you can only hear in the positive, then you're only hearing one side of the story. There are some people who we consider in the emo society who only hear themselves in the darkness, in the drugs or in the depression or in the goriness or in the right pain and things like that, right? They only hear themselves in the negativity. They can't hear them. It's too loud when it's positive and joy and excitement and all these things. It's too loud for them in that positive environment, right? So then they're lacking the positive side. They can only hear themselves in the dark, right? And they need to practice hearing themselves in the light as well. And that's what, if you want to evolve to the next level, you got to practice whatever side you're not good at. That's the side you need to start practicing more and trying to hear yourself in those on that other side. Said unless PTSD, the freeze is no good. Ashe to Jules. Balance. Ashe. My Janae says I try to suppress the shadow side of myself. Suppress. See, that's already saying that you are stifling, right? Right there. Suppress. As an Aries, right? And I'm an Aries as well, so I understand. Survival instincts are second nature. This is true. But I've learned to suppress the shadow, balance, and utility of all aspects of the self is mastery. So you're right. Ashe. So your husband is awesome. I don't have a husband, but Ashe. So the future is yours. Ashe, right? So suppression keeps you from evolving, keeps you from growing, right? Um, there's a difference between growing through the negative energy, evolving through it, versus suppressing it. Right? Suppressing it is trying to ignore its existence. It's not really there. Right? While growing through it is you find the answer to a higher existence, a higher way of thinking through it. Right? Basically, you find an answer or you remember an answer. Sometimes you just got to remember an answer through it. That's also part of the process as well. Or you got to, because a lot of times it's the evolution is just remembering the same answer and over again, but now you're just remembering it in a different scenario or in a different negative, emotion, right? Before you really get it, before you really understand it and accept it. Sometimes you just have to practice being depressed in different scenarios before you and then overcome it and then grow past it until before you really start to understand it, right? Before you start to understand that side of you, right? Or understand other sides, of you. Shay. But you're going into the dark though. If you're a light person, going into the dark is it's going to be a challenge. If you're a dark person, going into light is a challenge, right? If you're a dark person, honesty is a challenge, right? Being forthright, being out, it's a challenge. Honesty with yourself, honesty with other people, it is a challenge, right? And if you're a light person, right, facing those dark sides of you or those, even when you're a light person, actually, honesty is a challenge too. Being honest about your darkness is a challenge. Being honest about your darkness is a challenge, right? Well, a lot of your once again, if you want to, and if you have trouble with those dark sides of you, you're going to have trouble. And there's going to be a whole half of meditation that you're not going to be able to access, right? If you want to be able to unlock certain DNA codes, if you want to be able to get in contact with certain entities and deities and certain spiritual bodies that you inhabit, they exist in the darkness. You got to go in the muck and the mud, and you got to be willing to deal with some dark energy, and they are going to manifest in physical reality too, meaning they're going to contact you, and they contact us all, they contact you anyway through physical people. But do you face those physical manifestations of darkness head on, right? Do you face them head on? Do you learn from head on? Do you conquer them head on, right? So this is definitely it's no matter what, you got to go through the process. whether you're a dark person dealing with the light or a light person dealing with the dark, you know. Um, and then even when you accept, as a light person, you accept the dark, that portion of the dark, then you'll be thrown back into a light situation. Then you'll be thrown back into a dark. You're going to be thrown back and forth, right? As you are learning more and more aspects of the dark and the light, the dark and the light. This is part of the process. This is part of the process. Let's see. Jules says, suppression has been my problem. I need to learn to manage it, work with it. I think suppression is the root cause of health issues. I wouldn't say it's the root cause, but it definitely can cause some health issues, though. There are many different root causes. The root cause to any health issue, though, is it's just the brokenness of the soul. We're all trying to heal our souls, in my opinion. Every single one of us on this planet, every human is trying to heal, their soul, put their soul back together. Majane says, as a person who loves the light, I overshare and tell all my damn business to open Ashe. That is part of light. Definitely part of light. No boundaries, right? Because the light doesn't like boundaries, right? It wants to just keep expanding. So, of course, won't allow myself to say no. I was just talking to Duüblé about that, Ashe. I think I have an overactive heart chakra. Need to balance it. Suppression, anger definitely cause health issues. Yes, so when it comes to, so this is something I will go over in a spiritual lesson. It is in my notes to go over. But when it comes to balancing chakras, when it comes to especially overactive chakras and overactive chakra, this is where a lot of people make a mistake. They will either, most people try to just suppress that chakra. And they think that that's going to balance the chakra. I'm going to suppress the chakra that's overreactive. Right. And that doesn't work out too well. Or they'll try to switch and dive deeply into a whole nother chakra, and then that one becomes overactive, and then that doesn't, then you're still unbalanced, right? Sometimes the suppression of a chakra can feel balanced initially. It can feel balanced initially, and in some sense, it does create a certain sense of balance, but that won't give you your ultimate answer either, though, right? It's like being right-handed and you do everything right-handed. So then you wouldn't suppress your right hand and say, I'm unbalanced. Let me suppress my, I'm going to use less of my, I'm not going to use my right hand anymore. It's like then, but not replace anything. So like I say, I eat everything with my right hand, so I'm not going to use my right hand anymore. But you're not using the left hand to eat, you're just not using the right hand anymore. It's like, well, then that doesn't, it's not too useful, not too helpful, is it? Right? So now you're trying to use weird things, your feet or your mouth or something, like things that don't make sense, right? Or you try to use just, what you really is like trying to do is like, I'm not going to use my whole right arm and hand. I'll just use like my two fingers, or I'll just try to use my right elbow, or like you're just, you're trying to suppress. Or the other person might say, well, I'm going to just do everything left-handed. From now on, everything I'm going to do is left-handed, right? But then now you're doing everything left-handed, and you might forget how to use the right hand, or really what most likely will happen is because you're not really a master of the left hand, you just end up messing everything's even worse now, trying to do everything left-handed, right? Um, so there's a balance, right, that you need to achieve. When people say, well, then use half the right, half the left, which would make sense. That is a balance. But if you're right-handed, you can't just jump into just using the left hand. The left hand isn't, by definition, it is not at the same level as the right hand. So then there becomes a process you have to go through. And that's how the chakras work as well. There's a process that you got to go through. It's not just, oh, wake up, I'm just be balanced and think balanced thoughts, and all of a sudden all your chakras are balanced. That's uh, not the case, right? Um, Same thing, same concept, balance, alignment, right? And alignment is actually more of an accurate description of what you're trying to do with your chakras rather than balance, right? E, they're both true. It's just that alignment has a more accurate uh, concept behind it, right? But alignment isn't what you think. It's not always, we think alignment, we think of alignment as far as like things are just lining up in a straight line. The chakras are already in a straight line. That's not the issue. The issue is that the frequencies have to align. That's where the alignment comes in. The frequencies have to align, right? Even though they are operating on different frequencies, but they still have to align, just like a piano keys are all different notes, but the notes still have to align. So I'll go more into that. I'll probably tomorrow. Tomorrow on the spiritual lesson, I'll go more into that whole balancing out and aligning chakras and what that actually means. Profound indeed affects the very genetic code. Ashe. What do you think is the best exercise to balance? Says Jules Sepp. Um, the best exercise, I guess, to balance your chakras is what you're saying. Um, Probably, I don't know what the best exercise is, but there are some very effective exercises. I would say that chakra rotations is definitely a good exercise. It's probably the best exercise, not because it's necessarily the most effective, even though I think it probably is, but it does take the longest to do though. So that's the other thing. Um, so when you say the best, it's like, well, you mean like by effectiveness or by speed? It's like some things are faster, but not as effective, and some things are more effective, but they just take longer, and you don't always have the time to do it. So there are these challenges, right? But ultimately, chakra rotations, if you have the time to do it, those are, to what I've experienced, seem to be the most effective um, balancers in its true definition, in its true sense. I'll go more into that tomorrow as well. Jules says it's not parallel. I'm not sure exactly what you meant by that question. Like positive and negative ions. Um, yeah, I'm not really sure, but I say. Let's see, my genetic, everything else. Uh, Suppressing anger can definitely cause health issues. It can. It can. Right. So then the idea is like, well, then how do I share anger in a way that's not detrimental to me or to anybody else, but it's expressive and right. That's the tough part. Well, with that comes one, you have to know what to be angry at. So that's wisdom, that's knowledge. The wiser you become, uh, the more knowledgeable you become, or the more skilled you become in knowing when anger is necessary or needed or at least useful, right? Or required or just makes sense at this particular time. So then when you use your anger at those times and your wisdom understands why you did it and why it's effective or why it was useful, then the more you're able to accept that anger, and you um, are more willing to express it and not suppress it. But see, we suppress things like anger because we believe you're not supposed to be angry, or we feel bad for using that anger. And that's because we are ignorant to knowing, when that anger is actually necessary, or when it's, permissible, right? So we have to do more self-reflection as well as outward reflection and understanding, and not just studying books, but studying ourselves and studying people to try to figure that out. Imagination is right. Turning off my heart can't be the answer. I want to keep using it, just in a balanced, healthy way. Yeah, it seems like your heart chakra is definitely, definitely, I guess overactive, or yeah, I can feel that. Imagine, love for others and love for self can't be too lopsided for others. That's not self love. Ashe. Said I'll be in the building. Ashe, imagine. Yeah, yeah. It sounds like you need some. Because here's the other thing too. What happens when you overwork a muscle? It becomes tight. It becomes get adhesions. It throws off all the parts of the body. It becomes, you can get inflamed. Like, all different things can happen from overusing, a muscle or a body part. Same thing happens with the chakras, though. Overusing chakras, it creates issues in that chakra as well. It can become, stressed out. It can become blocked. You become, something similar to like an inflammation type of deal. Different things, you cause, damage, basically, to that area, right? So, it feels like, from what I felt just from reading your comments, like you need to do some heart chakra work, and maybe not in a traditional sense that you're used to. Maybe not in a traditional sense that you're used to. It might not. It might be something beyond just doing like Reiki, because Reiki stimulates with. But if you already stimulated heart chakra, doing more stimulation might not be the case. There's you know, that's one of the issues that happens in what's it called, physical therapy. Me being a personal trainer for some time when I was early in my career, uh, I recognized that a lot of physical therapy, and still to this day, physical therapy is pretty weak in its foundation. And what they do too much of is they do too much stimulation. So they're trying to work something that's injured or that's hurt, or maybe that's, gone through surgery or whatever it is, right? Or tight or whatever, and they're just trying to like work it, press, do this exercise, do that, and a lot of times it makes it worse. A lot of times more, it's already like, especially when people have like shoulder pain or something, they're trying to, and they'll give you a cortisol shot, and then they'll make you do shoulder raises and all that kind of stuff. The problem is it's already overstimulated to begin with, and now you're trying to fix it with more stimulation, right? And that's what becomes an issue when really, uh, if it's overstimulated, then it needs removal. It needs removal. So when you're talking about chakras, removing the excess energy that's in there, right? That's so you can do that through breaking spiritual contracts, or you can do that through certain types of prayers and chants of just removing and draining the chakra vortex of the excess energy. The same way you would do with a overstimulated shoulder that's locked up. Well, then what do you need to do? You need to hit pressure points and do some myofascial releasing in the shoulder to release the because basically toxins will build up. They'll build up, and that's what's so when people get tight muscles, they think the muscle's just tight, and actually there's toxins built up. Wherever there's tightness, there's toxins. There's toxins in that area, and it's causing the tightness. That may have been caused from the overstimulation, right? So then by working it and breaking up the toxins and releasing toxins by pressing and releasing and draining it, it then releases, the locked up shoulder muscle or whatever that's locked up, right? Same concept can be done to chakras as well. Chakra rotations is one thing that does help with that too. Because it's see, Reiki is more of a stimulation, but chakra rotations does have a certain level of balancing that it does, right? Because it also like detoxes. It gets the energy right. It gets it moving in its more natural state, right? I should. So I think a lot of people pick up on that when interacting with me. Ashe. So looks like that's about it. It looks like for tonight. So we'll go ahead and close it down and say Ashe, Asante, and Amen. Ime Kamalika, it is done. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Ashe.